Opinions of the hosts or guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff, management, ownership, or sponsorship of Amp Media Productions or its affiliated partners.
Welcome to the Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Do you want to step up your game? Pursue your dreams. Be the best version of yourself. The Reinvented Life is here to help. The Reinvented Life is about courage. It's about staying relevant. It takes grit. It defies gravity. It's about taking inventory of where you are today and where you want to go. Embrace change. Make things possible and reinvent your life. Call in with questions at 888-994-4995. Now, it's time to reinvent your life with Pamela Chanel.
Well, good morning in the West Coast. Good afternoon in the East Coast. This is Pamela Chanel David. Welcome to the Reinvented Life. I cannot believe we are almost in July. Here we are, the July 4th week coming up. Wow, 2020, the most unprecedented year ever. I can't wait for you to see again, for those of you that are following the Reinvented Life show and this network, Tim Hodgkiss. We're going to bring Tim Hodgkiss on here. Tim is not new to the Reinvented Life show. He has actually been our guest. Tim is an attorney. He has an MBA. He is actually has a Bachelor's of Science in Electrical Engineering as well. So I often say he is just my alphabet soup friend. But more than that, what we're going to be talking about today is reinvention. So as we bring Tim on here, I want you to think about something. Here is someone, there he is, there's Tim. Welcome, Tim. Welcome back to the Reinvented Life. You are welcome. You know, I said you're my alphabet soup friend because you have every degree, every initial one could possibly want, right? Here you are.
All 26 letters are right there, I think, if you take my name into account. Well,
So
thank you again,
we've had
Chanel.
you. Oh, you are welcome. We've had you on the show, and this day is going to be a lot of fun because part of reinventing one's life is really looking at one's life in totality. So we were having a conversation, not just about your career, but we were also having a conversation about your office. And one of the most
Yes.
amazing things about you and why you are probably involved in intellectual property law to begin with is that's all about the thoughts, right? That's all about creative thinking. That's all about this idea of invention and then protecting it. So along those lines, I know you have your serious side, if you will, about what you do and what you do for your clients. But today's something totally different. Today, we're going to have the Art Palooza. Today, we are going to look at the creative side because so much about reinventing is the creative side. So take it away a little bit. Tell us about your office, what we're about to do, and what we're about to reveal here.
Well, I think that kind of says it all, right? Like the bland, beige, boring box that defines my workday, right? And that's been every office I've ever had. I don't know about you, but I'm a creative guy, and you said it. You know, ideas are how I make my living, and creations, you know, that creative process is what fuels the idea. And I look around and I'm like, wow, where is the creativity in my workspace? You know, I bring it every day just in my being, but it'd be nice every once in a while to be able to see something that's inspiring, right? Like we all want to be inspired, like you inspire me. But if I was to turn the camera around and show you what really is going on it's far from inspiring. It's just basically a sea of paperwork. So one day of about 2 weeks ago, so this is the story of today. I
Great.
was just taking a break from work and browsing on a friend's website. And this is a friend who I've met through a Facebook group, an entrepreneurship-based Facebook group. And I knew that she did artwork. And I said to myself, let me just check out Marin's site. What does she have for sale? She's been putting up a lot of posts about these different art projects she's been working on. She's been struggling to get some of the actual supplies that she needs because of COVID. There's been some constraints in the product channel for these different acrylics that she's using. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. Let me just go on this site and check out what she's got for sale. What do these things cost, you know? So I'm on there, and to be honest, what I saw, the colors weren't really speaking to me. And so I was like, well, you know, it's great work, high quality craftsmanship and an artistic, you know, eye for everything, but it just wasn't for me. Then I made it to the very last painting. And I'm like, wow, that's different. That's entirely in contrast to all the other paintings that I saw on our website. But there was something about this painting that I just wasn't sure. The colors were absolutely 100% me, for sure. And when you see it, you're going to know why. But there was something about it that I just didn't understand, and I didn't know if it was going to be a good fit for me. So I reached out to Marin, and I said, what does this number mean? And as soon as she told me what it meant, and we'll get more into it when I open it up, once she explained to me the meaning behind it, I'm like, this is just serendipity. Like, this was meant to be. I was meant to have this painting, and so I bought it right there on the spot. Literally, while we were texting back and forth, she got a notification that somebody purchased it, and then she was like, oh my God, you just bought it, as she's texting me about it. So it was really cool. I've never purchased a painting or any sort of art per se, and I think it was a sign. It was meant to be, and it's a guidepost for me being on the right path.
I can't wait to see it. So as we talked about, there's many facets to people, right? So you have
Mm-hmm.
your work facet, you have your own challenges you put to yourself in terms of your health and wellness. And here's a whole other side. It's really the creative side of you. What inspires you? And when you are at a place of creation, when you are inspiring yourself or others, it's unstoppable. And so
Mm-hmm.
to have colors in your office, to have things that aren't just your bland walls, starts to energetically shift everything for you. And that's really what I want the listeners to hear, for the viewers to see. They're going to be lucky enough to see this art reveal and know that a bright color, a number, a symbolism, a piece of art can just literally catapult your life forward like nothing else. Big believer in art. I love painting myself. I don't do it often enough, but when I do, it just evokes so much creativity and ultimately productivity, believe it or not, in me. So let's see. We want to see the big reveal.
Okay.
From what I understand, you haven't even seen this art, right? So
No, this box has
let
not been
our
opened.
viewers see it. All right.
Okay.
We're going to have a big reveal here.
This is the box. This is, I don't know
All
if you
right.
can see it, Marin Lee. She put that sticker on there, fragile,
Perfectly.
handle with care.
Perfect.
This has not been opened.
All right. Now, while you're
We shall
doing that,
see.
I'll remind people, this is someone you met online, which I would,
Yes.
remind people there's wonderful professional groups online. You met her in an entrepreneur group. She's obviously an entrepreneur and an artist. And you, in looking at her art, was attracted to this. So I cannot wait. Oh, there we go. The infamous popcorn celebration. Almost feel like we need to have music going on for this reveal. But here we
Exactly.
are.
Here
All
we
right,
are.
so let's
Making a
see
mess.
what you are what you are embarking on. It's well packaged. We can see that. So
Very
Marin
well.
Lee, great job on that.
Incredibly.
Cannot wait. And this is going to be great for you, because for as creative as you are with protecting others' creativity, I think this is going to embark a lot of creativity in you as well.
Well,
So when you
we
finish
talked,
that,
her and I.
yeah,
We
that's what I was going to
talked
ask you. Have you
before.
actually talked to her?
Yeah, she reached out to me probably about 2 or 3 months ago to talk about copyright in regards to her artwork. And
Beautiful.
I didn't think anything of it, I just kind of, it's like, oh, that's a cool person that's doing art. But we stayed in contact, and I saw a lot of her posts on Instagram, and I got interested in it, and she did an amazing job. The painting is as amazing as her packaging.
All right, so you're going to explain when you open it the symbolism in this as well, correct?
Yes. The drama.
All right, well, we may or may not. We may need to do a second show here on the reveal.
I got another
Here
box.
we go. We're getting closer. Another box. This is definitely something you haven't seen yet, so excited to see
Here we
this
go.
all together. All right, here we go.
I think.
And again, for our viewers, whatever inspires you, that's, I think, what's so important, whether it's art, it's music. Some people just love the outdoors, but whatever it is for you, just embrace it, because that keeps everything so balanced in our life. So are we about to see the reveal here? I think we are.
Okay, so we have a card.
All right.
Tim, this is glassine paper, which is balanced to protect your artwork. I recommend saving this in case you ever have to transport or store your art at some point. Marin.
So there's even balance, everyone, in the paper.
Everything's purpose. Everything has a purpose.
Everything.
And this is like a Tootsie Pop. Oh my God.
So here we have it, the big art reveal.
It's coming.
It's coming. And let us see. Oh, wow. Can everyone see that? Amazing. Amazing colors. Wow. Incredible texture for those of you who can see it. For those that you are listening, it's very glassine look, very textured, bright turquoise, bright purple, and 267. So
267. So
tell us about 267.
Like, this had me with the color, right? Like, I knew these colors were spot on for me, but the 267 kind of threw me off. I didn't understand what it meant. I'm like, Marin, what's the point? Why do I care about that number? And it has to do with numerology and being on the right path and understanding that this is where you're supposed to be, and trust your gut. That was the title of this. Trust your gut. And it was so true for me. Like, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And to come across a painting that had that story behind it was just mind-blowing to me. I absolutely had to have this. So here it is. And it's just mind-blowing.
It's incredible. Yeah, mind-blowing. And for our viewers and listeners, again, Tim, that is incredible. Share with everyone just a little on your journey. Just whet their appetite, because this journey for the last
Well,
2 years, that actually makes me want to cry knowing your journey.
isn't this cool? My
It
right is left
is
and left is
just
right, but
tears of joy. It is beyond. It is beyond cool.
my journey has been flipping, going something, from nothing to something, 180, flipping it upside down, kind of doing the opposite. For the longest time, I turned my volume down, I dimmed my light way down to the point it was off. I didn't want to express who I was, I didn't want to share who I was, because it was coming from a place of insecurity, a lack of worth, and a lack of belief in myself that I didn't matter. And so I didn't share. I didn't participate out there in the world amongst people. But I realized in the last 2 years, the more that I've been open to receiving, the more I've received, right? And it's just been incredible. And this is a reflection of that. This is just another
Wow.
marker along my path and journey that I am on the right journey to whatever it is. There's not a particular end game that I have in mind, but I know that I need to be more open, outward, and showing of my personality and creative side of myself. Um, and so here we are with 267.
That's just incredible. This journey you speak of is so remarkable, because what I think people have realized is that their gifts matter. And it's in the
Mm-hmm.
receiving of those gifts that real transformation can take place. And you're beginning
Right.
to receive your own gifts first. And that's what I think is incredible. The texture and the colors, literally, of
Isn't that cool?
that are jumping through the screen. It is the coolest. And it
The
helps
crazy thing
literally
is,
not, yeah, go ahead.
the thing is that her other work, it was all kind of earth tony. There was
Yeah.
nothing close, not even in the realm of this sort of dramatic and intense color. So I was like, wow, like, of all the things on her site, and this is the last one, I'm like, that stands out. That looks like one I'd buy. What's 267 though? And then it sealed the deal. Like, it was just perfect. It's a perfect story.
Absolutely. It is. And that's what I want to bring to light here, is that we all have a story. We all have these gifts. You're one of the most amazing creative people I've ever met. And this gift of allowing people to see the possibilities. There are so many that want to see what's possible. I mean, that is you. That is, as if
I know
energetically
it is.
Marin knew, that is you. That is
It's
incredible. It's
crazy. It's
all
crazy.
about
Like,
it is all about, even the lead in that we did for this show was done with you in those colors, not even knowing the
mm-hmm.
colors. I never even had any idea
You
what
didn't.
that art would be all
No,
about.
no.
Yet created the lead in for this show with those exact colors. So that's amazing. And what you talk about, for so long, you dimmed that light almost to the place it was so dark. And now to see
Yeah.
you showing up so bright, it's the hope that it gives people. It's the hope that letting people know that they can use their voice, that as they are is a gift to everyone. That not just brightens up the space, but it brightens up you. And art
I,
does
yeah.
that. It's
It sure does.
incredible. It's incredible.
It,
It's reflective of exactly the point in time you are in your life.
yeah, for me, it's important, and it shows up not necessarily, this is my first piece of art that I purchased, but the way I dress, the way I try to, I don't know, it makes me feel good dressing a certain way, wearing a certain piece of clothing. maybe from a certain designer or something, it
Yeah.
makes me feel good. It allows my energy to radiate at a higher frequency or something. There's just something about it. If I'm not dressing the way I feel I need to, it definitely shifts my energy. And it's like being around a circle of people that help push you in a direction, right? You are the sum of the five closest people in your world. Well, you're the sum of the things that you put around your space too. It all adds to the amplification of what you're trying to do with your energy, right? So if you're surrounded by this kind of brown, it's kind of draining you of energy. It's not adding to your energy. And this, oh my gosh.
That just literally jumps off this screen.
Yeah.
And what you're speaking to is having personal style and being very proud of it. And I think that
Yeah.
when you don't have to feel like you're being a certain way and you have to fit in a certain
Fit
way, but
in.
standing out is okay, right? You don't have to fit
Absolutely.
in. That art does not fit in a lot of places, but it is perfectly reflective of your world. I
It
absolutely
might not,
love it.
right. It might not fit into other people's worlds or realms, but it certainly fits into mine. It makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely perfect. And that's what's important. You know, we have to celebrate ourselves and we have to respect and tolerate other people's tastes and styles. But if it's coming from an authentic place, I think that's what's most important, you know, celebrating your authenticity and showing up 100% in the vision and volume that you feel represents you. And when you're not doing that, you're being inauthentic. And I think ultimately you are not going to, you're just not going to communicate as effectively. You're not going to end up in the space, in the place where you want to be. That's my opinion.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, that's what reinvention is all about, is truly who is your authentic self, and
Right?
who is it that you inside stylistically show up on the outside of. You were at a place that, you know, you were dimming your light. You're very open about this. You didn't know that your opinion mattered. You didn't really realize the gifts that you had, although they were unique to everyone else around you, how
Right.
important that can be for other people. And so it's
Well,
a
I was
way to
searching for
give back.
validation. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And the truth is that the validation, when you're more authentic, when you are truer to who you are and closer to who yourself are, then the outside energetically draws you to that validation. That is a validation right there in the most magnificent and biggest way it could be, which is why this excites me so much. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be the beginning of an art journey for you and having it express your style. I can't wait to see how this evolves. And I think what
Yeah.
it also does is it shows people that they can be who they are.
Most certainly. Most certainly. Why? Why not be anything else? You're the
Right.
best. You're the best version of you. Love it. Celebrate it. Flaunt it. If you got it, flaunt it. You know what I mean? And that was the
Yeah.
thing. I sort of knew that I had something, but I always deferred to other people because I didn't want to be criticized. You know, I didn't want anything negative to kind of come my way of my idea because that would have hurt me. So I protected myself by not sharing. And that was such a mistake. And you got to trust yourself and, you know, go for it. Doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know that it was a mistake. It was part of your journey, is how you can look at it.
True.
And it's brought you to where you are. And look how proud you are now of where you've been, where you're going. And you're so sensitive and able to be empathetic to others when you start to understand how you've been dimming your own light. And I think we've all done that to some extent. We've all gotten into those habits and those routines, had those thoughts Look at, you can look at that
Yeah.
in so many different ways. It's
Yeah, I
incredible.
think I had it upside down.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's
this
perfect
thing
the
is
way it
amazing.
is. Yeah,
You
it's
can do whatever
perfect
you
the
want to
way
put
it
this with.
is. It can be even vertical. Yeah, it's incredible. But what I would share with you is that the actions and the thoughts that we have every day literally work into a routine and a lifestyle, really into the fabric of your being. And so that's where people have difficulty, because they've created a certain life, a certain lifestyle for themselves. You use the word style again, and they
Hmm.
feel stuck. And the truth
Yep.
is that you can go back to that beginning and start with new thoughts that your environment, those beige walls, were not eliciting the best from you. We're not eliciting the most creative. So what did you do? You decided to brighten it up. And the more you thought about it, it led you, literally
Hmm.
led you to meet this artist, which you never would have
Exactly.
done before if you weren't open to. Now you've met this artist, you can have an
Yep.
appreciation for her work, yet the last one of her pieces you saw spoke to you exactly.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
developed a new routine by doing that. You're developing a lifestyle, a new piece will now be the beginning for a new fabric, a new way of being for you. And
Hmm.
that is so incredible. Any way you hold that, vertical, horizontal, there's no right way. Again, it becomes reflective, and it may shift. You may have it hanging on your wall one way and then switch it around
Right.
at some point. But
Yeah.
the idea
It's
is to remain fluid and not get, I put in the Reinvented Life book a little analogy of, you don't need to rubber cement it. You don't need to glue it down, right? And our way
be
of
open
being,
to changing. Right. Always be open to
be
change.
open to
You know,
changing.
don't change is not a bad word.
Not at all. Not at all. And unfortunately, a lot of people see it as that. But change opens up the pathway to new possibilities. So whether someone is inspired by art or inspired by a new way of being, a new career, a new relationship, a new way of giving back into their community, a new attention to their health and wellness, it's all to create a more authentic self and go through those ways. So this couldn't be more analogous to that. I mean, that to me literally speaks as endless possibility, which is what I know you're all about, and not
Yeah.
confining yourself into any one of those
No.
alphabet soups.
No, no, there are no limits. And that's the thing. People always, at least in my kind of small clique here in Ohio, there's an attitude of, well, I don't have any options. Well, I can't do that. What are you talking about? You absolutely have options. You're just too scared to walk through the doors that are right there in front of you. You can
Yeah.
absolutely switch up your circumstances for the better, but you're just too scared. It's a short-term pain for some long-term gain, is what I say. And if you are a little unfearful for a little bit, you can do some incredible things for yourself. But people want to stay stuck, and they reinforce that with what they see, what they listen to, the people that they surround themselves with. Um, and for me, I've always been marching to my own drummer in a way, but I've just now really listened and trusting what my drummer has been telling me, instead of, oh yeah, their idea is much better than mine. Oh yeah, they have it together, so I better follow what they're doing. No, I'm following my heart and what my mind's telling me first.
Well, much about reinventing your life is reinventing gratitude, reinventing appreciation for art, for the world around you, for the things, for the places, and most important, for the people. And so I'm in
Hmm.
gratitude for you, for showing people what's possible, overcoming that fear, overcoming those limiting beliefs, showing up with a bright fuchsia purple 267 to the world. Thank you so
Yep,
much for your time, for being on our show today. I love the
absolutely.
conversations with you, and they've gone from the professional conversations to seeing where you're going creatively. This is going to become an art palooza.
Absolutely. Next time you talk to me, I'll probably have like 10 of these hanging up back here. You won't be able to see the beige.
I love it. Well, thank you very much. Thanks to our viewers. Everyone have an incredible 4th. Be safe. Be safe where you go. Be safe what you do. Be respectful. And most of all, put on that hat of creativity. It's Independence Day. Give yourself the independence to know that when you embrace change, all is possible. Have a great 4th. We'll see you next Monday. Have a wonderful holiday. And thanks for visiting with us again today. The reinventedlife.com. You can find all sorts of stories of inspiration and people following their own passions. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing, amazing holiday.
For tuning in to The Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Tune in each week so we can work and grow together to become the best version of ourselves. Keep striving, keep dreaming, keep working, and embrace change. You may contact Pamela Chanel at info@thereinventedlife.com.